Hello, and welcome to Campaign Comrades, your favorite leftist gaming radio podcast. I'm the leader today, and I sat there for so long trying to come up with what the fuck I was going to lead us with, and trying to come up with a fucking topic for this episode. And I was getting real fucking pissed about it, because, like, man, I spent so many showers sitting there.
Give us some of the rejected ideas.
Yeah.
No, that's the best part, though. I couldn't come up with reject-worthy ideas because I couldn't come up with ideas. I was just out. There was nothing in the head, nothing going through. All I could think of was, I can't wait to go to work and QA more components. That's going to be a great day. So what I ended up considering was thinking back to a better time in my life. Going back to when things were simple, when bills didn't exist. Back to the motherland, as one might say. 203, there was a radio channel that I listened to, that we all listened to, 93.7. I know a bunch of you Zoomers out there don't know what that means.
Hot 93.7. Come on. Got to put the respect on its name.
It was hot. I know there's a bunch of Zoomers out there who don't know what a radio channel means, and are like, why would you listen to? They probably think it's like AM radio, and I was listening to finger wagging, newsy style music,
doing the mashed potato.
Yeah, Hot 93.7 was.
Matt was an avid NPR listener from a young age.
Oh yes, actually, it was Imus in the morning at my grandparents'.
God, oh no.
Me and old Don Imus.
My dad listened to Imus for a while.
I think it was just a rite of passage.
I don't think he was like ever into any of the other shock jocks.
It was like Imus wasn't a shock jock. Imus was just kind of like a crazy man.
He was my grandfather's favorite radio host. You take that back.
Yeah, he was like Rush Limbaugh kind of before that even.
I used to stay at my grandparents' house and be woken up to the gravelly sound of that man's voice at 4 a.m.
The gravelly sounds of racial slurs, of casual slurs.
An actual victim of cancel culture. Don Imus. One of the few, man.
They canceled him so hard he died. The truest form of cancellation.
I mean, he got canceled from life. Yeah. But 93.7 was Connecticut's #1 hip-hop radio station. And they had one of my favorite all-time radio segments called Tell Me Why You Mad, which would just be random people calling into the radio station, airing out their grievances. Could be huge, could be small, could be petty, could be anything. Could be I fucking was late to work this morning and the lights won't fucking turn green. And it was
Festivus every Wednesday afternoon.
It was the best. And then my cohorts over here decided that Hot 93.7, Tell 'em Why You Mad is too niche and rained on my parade, and have decided to rename the segment to Player Haters.
Yeah.
An homage to the Player Hater Ball of Dave Chappelle, which
it's
most
another
date. I was about to say something that none of you probably know, because we're dating ourselves. But the Player Haters have arrived. We're in our dapper suits. We've got our velvet hats, our canes.
Andrew and I were chatting a little bit before, and the Player Haters have arrived. It's like, bitch, we've never left. We've already been here. That's why I've struggled. That's why I've struggled with this one when you laid it on us. 'Cause I'm just like, unfortunately, like, everything makes me mad. I'm pissed about it.
I always have my hate and cap on.
Particularly when it comes to the industry, it's just like everything's making me mad these days, and that doesn't make me feel good. That does not make me feel good.
I wanted to bottle that rage, and I wanted to put it into the ultimate controlled form, a small video podcast to release to the masses. I figured you might actually have some pretty good ones out there, Ben. Like, I could absolutely see you being like, you know why I'm so mad? Because I got all these games and I can't fucking pick one.
I mean, that is a problem that I do have more frequently than I would like. But I struggle to name that one because it's a problem of my own making, right? I like to send my rage external. Not internalize it.
You know the meme where it's like, my therapist told me this is how my problems are, and it's the bird in the bird cage with just 2 bars in front of
it. Yeah. It do be like that many days, yes. I did finally pick something, though, because I've been in these like kind of peaks and valleys, right, of kind of slumps of finding something that like speaks to me. And when I'm in those kind of funks, I find it really hard in particular to commit to something that's super long. When I find something that I like, I have no problem sinking a lot of time. Like Neo was that most recently for me, and I put in essentially 90 hours, and that just kind of flew by.
Neo 3.
But that just kind of just flew by, and so it's the time itself is not a big problem. But it happens to be so many things on my backlog are these like immense commitments that like I don't feel currently the drive to pull me in. But so recently I did, however, I've been working more to.
I mean, you hate played through my game of next month like 3 times after you kept saying you were quitting.
That was so. I did have to self reflect on that one.
It's like you were like, I beat it, and I was just sitting there. It was like, you said you quit twice already.
But it was because I couldn't, like, nothing else was speaking to me, and there was enough there that was like interesting, and like each time I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to find something today, and I didn't. So like, okay, I tried to run, and then I would progress a little bit further. Like I would beat the next biome, like I beat the biome 3 boss, and I was at the checkpoint. So I'm like, okay, I should really give it another go, at least to see how far that takes me. And then I could see the light at the end of the tunnel, and was like, okay, I'm just gonna stick with it. But I've been trying to remove
the light in the depths.
I've been trying to remove even those two bars in the bird cage, right? Like these are self-imposed things that are getting in my way. So like I see my physical media shelf and like the physical backlog of PlayStation things is too long, and I'm like, okay, you know what, I have to be critical. I am picking out things that I'm never gonna play. And
you went and bought an Xbox just to play Halo.
and I'm selling them, right? I'm clearing them out. So things are getting off the backlog one way or another. But then, so another one was I've been like waiting. It's a game I want to play. I wanted to play. The early access sequel for the sequel is imminent, even though I have no intention of playing the early access. But the first Solasta game, which is a D&D CRPG, like it's a CRPG based off of what's it called? It's like the open source rule set for D&D. So it's not like licensed or anything. It's just the rules that are open source and anybody can use. And the game is kind of jank or whatever, but I'm enjoying it well enough. But like I kept putting it off because I wanted to wait for the Steam controller. I really wanted to like hold off on doing another CRPG until I had the Steam controller, because this game in particular, it has controller support, but there's plenty of jank around using a controller for a CRPG. And so it's like, oh, that's the best of both worlds. I can use the trackpads for industry management or for inventory management, which is horrendous with a controller, but then I can move and control the camera with the actual sticks.
There's
itself,
only one
which is
solution to this.
Much better. But
I need to buy the old Steam controller
with the touchpads. So, but I just I'm like, you know what? It's another thing that's pissing me off, is the state of the hardware market. And I'm like, what do you mean?
There's nothing wrong with the hardware market. It's fine that RAM costs 30 to 40% of your PC build now. It's completely normal.
But it's just there's no light at the end of that tunnel, right? I
know you just made a face, Andrew. That's not me pulling something out of my ass either.
No, that's true.
Oh no, I know. There was an
article.
It's probably more than that.
It was HP was saying that 40% of the cost when they make a new PC is into RAM.
Jesus Christ.
And that's at their scale.
Used to get RAM for like $200.
RAM used to be fucking cheap.
It was one of the cheapest components. You could get really good RAM for
you could
under
$100
$100
and get fancy RGB RAM that makes your computer go faster,
including getting some dummy RAM to put in the other 2 slots to make it look nice.
Curse AI, curse Sam Altman,
yeah,
curse Dario Amodi, curse them all.
So I've been doing my best to get out of my own way with those things.
We can applaud that. That's a personal growth step.
And I'm finding more things to enjoy because of it. My physical backlog is still too big, and a lot of the things that remain are things that like I have whittled it down to. I don't want to get rid of these, but I'm also not willing to commit the time to do it right now. It's like I want to play at some point, but like I don't have the I don't have it in me to play Persona 3 right now. I don't have
What else? How many of them are JRPGs?
Oh, the vast majority of them. The vast majority of them. But
Sorry to use a slur.
But not all of them. But not all of them. Like one that like I need to get to and would be super easy to knock out is Metal Gear Solid Delta. You know, that's I could do that quickly, but just there are other technical things that I don't really aren't super relevant, and again are problems of my own creation. Like I feel compelled to record all my footage for the Metal Gear games because I had started but never completed a project of trying to do a video on the first one. So I'm like, I'd put in the work in some level. I want to maybe eventually down the road I finish it, and then that continues on, and I don't want to have to replay it to capture footage. So I need to capture footage and take notes while I'm playing, and that's just not something I want to do.
Are you gonna play the original?
I have it on the Master Collection, but no, I don't have an intent to play that at least first.
Hey, but the Master Collection got a next gen update, didn't it? And it might even run better with Pisser 2.
Well, I have the PS5 version. I have that version.
I think they got a like 60 FPS update though, or something like that recently. I think that was part of the Sony State of Play when they announced the Volume 2 collection.
I did love Delta.
Yeah, but so you brought that up, like it wasn't really making me mad so much as it was depressing me. That was the that's why I didn't think of it. It was like I was depressed, not angry. There are plenty of other things that pissed me off.
It's a stage. Anger is a stage of depression.
I'm grieving for good games.
Well, good luck. There aren't that many on the horizon.
Speaking of Horizon, that's actually a good one. Let's say I'm pissed at the broader thing of why every single thing needs to be a live service. But then I wanted to talk about it in our last episode, but it honestly we forgot, and it was fun. The episode was fine without it. We had plenty of other things to talk about, but the Horizon Hunters Gathering announcement that happened, I'm kind of pissed about that. And I'm less
Isn't that
pissed.
having a beta weekend this weekend?
I don't think it would be this weekend because Marathon is happening this weekend.
I think that was the funny part, was that they were doing a beta weekend.
I don't think two Sony things would be doing betas at these. I don't know how much crossover they have, but like would seem like poor management.
Unless they're doing something at the exact same time as someone else doing something.
No, I know that the closed beta was that they're planning for it, and so I'm less pissed about the game itself. I have some issues with it, and I'd be happy to talk about it if you guys wanted to. But I'm pissed that like what it means is that it's going to be a long fucking time before Horizon 3. That's what pisses me off. Like, I don't really feel bad about like the game. I think the game could be fun. I'm probably more positive on Hunter's Gathering than most people, it seems. Like the idea of it, but just it pisses me off that it just means that like that no production has gone into Horizon 3 yet. That it's going to be so fucking long before we hear anything about it.
Two things. One, the playtest is absolutely happening this weekend.
Jesus
Christ,
I told you.
No way. I gotta look this up.
I tried to send the news, but the thing that was for it was like a link straight to the PlayStation beta.
Oh my god!
That like accidentally almost signed me up for it.
Yeah, no, it's happening. It started about an hour ago, I think.
Yeah, I mean the crossover with Marathon and that probably isn't that big.
They're both live service properties.
True. So all right. Having not played Horizon 2, did they leave
Horizon
it?
1?
Yeah, most of it. I didn't finish it, but I did play a good amount. What did they leave it set up for?
Yes,
another?
They intentionally left it set up.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Almost to a detriment.
It's
and then of course
we're getting ready for
other
the real big
issues
bad
along that, where like the actor who plays Silence is
R.I.P. Lance Reddick,
no longer with us, and he was set up to have a significant role.
Damn, I
didn't know.
I forgot he was still in.
That pisses me off. That it's just that this game's existence means it's going to be another 5 years before we see anything. Like, there's no way that that's not a mid to late PS6 game at this point. And that sucks. That really sucks. Because they opened their announcement with like, we're still committed to our single player adventures, but not anytime soon.
I mean, the continued desire within the industry for live service hits that pisses me off. That's for sure, because it's just wasting resources that don't.
I mean, most of them,
generate
what
anything.
they're doing is they're doing a rail of cocaine and saying just one more pull at the slot levers.
Seriously,
always bet on black. You
they're
go
the
into
mining
roulette table
for gambling.
Yeah,
just
like
one
they
swing away
give
from
up
the
now,
time.
then they might not have the live service game that could make them trillions.
Like I don't know. That's, to me, that's what killed Blue Point. I won't say anything. I mean, some of their stuff not great, but still.
I was gonna say Jason Schreier has been dumping a bunch of stuff today that makes it seem like they got in their own way.
Their proposals were not great, 100%. But at the same time, that live service idea, come on, just wasting resources, chasing dollars that.
No, they were going to do a remaster of Shadow of the Colossus if they didn't do that live service God of War game.
All right, I'm gonna go with something that is pretty broad, and I'm mad about kind of the fact that gaming is dictated by it's still almost a monoculture in a sense, where we all have to talk about the same things. We all have to talk about in high guard. We all have to talk about all this bullshit that, like, it's so tiresome.
You need to be mad that there's a woman NPC.
Right. Like the consistent engagement that is forced onto all of us by primarily bad faith actors is just such a loathsome experience. And honestly, I miss the days where gamers were a more fractured culture, where you just read magazines and you didn't post slurs online. That, to me, was a much better and productive atmosphere. It sounds like
atmosphere. To me, you're saying you longing for a time when saying you were a gamer was almost like outing yourself as being a loser.
Yeah. Make us losers again. I'm okay with it. Like,
if they got to you at tell us about yourself at the intro to getting hired at a company, you're like, oh yeah, I play video games. Like, no. Now when you're like, oh yeah, I play video games, like, oh fuck, he's racist.
Yeah, it crossed this threshold of making so much money that, it becomes mainstream, when the reality is that the majority of people who play video games have still not gotten over those feelings of ostracization. They still feel and have internalized that loser mentality.
A lot of them that online live in a bubble of like stereotypes.
But they feel this need to defend.
The Reddits that I follow, where they'll be like, a lot of gaming Reddit fucking hates sports. And they hate sports because they have this mentality of like jocks versus nerds. And it's like nowadays, like, you'd be hard pressed to find people who play a sport who also aren't playing fucking, at the very least, the video game version of their sport.
There's this sense of entitlement that comes from that feeling of ostracization, that feeling of being belittled by the larger culture, that is now in direct conflict with the fact that this is the culture, right? It's why like a geek culture type of thing is just fucking cringe consumerism at this point. Is that's all it is. You're not quirky, you're not special, you're not unique. You are just like everybody else, yet you have internalized this superiority complex because you were made fun of as a kid. But that's just not the reality anymore. And a lot of this comes down to the we need a rebalkanization of the internet is a big thing. The unified kind of singularity of the internet has made things that were previously niche just go so mainstream that people have lost their damn minds because their sense of identity is now so fractured. They
Internet-induced schizophrenia.
Yeah. The damn smartphone has killed your brain in more ways than one.
Killed your interests, killed your hobbies. But, like, the thing that's interesting about that is I think that tide had already started shifting even back when we were in like high school and middle school. Everyone, at least for the most part, every male classmate, of ours that I'm aware of played video games to some extent. Like even
Pretty
by the
much
time
everyone, especially at
Right.
that point in time in particular, was playing at the very least COD Zombies.
Right, or
it's a
if
certain
it wasn't
type-
that, GTA or Halo, like those were even at that point.
Wii Sports.
But like even at that point, which is why I think it's interesting that the community is still going through these kind of growing pains of like can't correlate or can't not correlate, can't square that circle internally without losing their goddamn minds. Like half these people that act like this were never bullied for playing video games. That's the part of it that doesn't make sense to me.
Honestly, and this is my controversial take, some of them probably should have been.
Bullying can serve a purpose. That's probably one of my more reactionary takes. Is that like
Make bullying great again.
it's part of the social contract, right? That's how we mitigate antisocial behavior, is by shame.
Yeah.
So it obviously needs to be directed in a healthy pro-social way.
Right.
We should
and the problem is children don't understand that or have but true.
It's like all this internet sensation about the Japanese macaque named Punch. Like all the adult
okay, hold on. I need to be told about this because I've seen like
Punch
three
deserves.
things.
I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what point you're trying to make, Matt. But Punch deserves happiness.
Punch does deserve happiness, you're right. But the other monkeys of the tribe are clearly trying to ostracize him for being attached to that stuffed animal.
Maybe he's just a dud. Maybe
If you
his
need
mom
info,
abandoned him just
Andrew,
because he's a dud.
Punch the monkey was abandoned by his mother and now clings to a stuffed animal and gets bullied by the adult monkeys in his pen. And
He's not being bullied anymore, though. They've started to accept him.
theoretically has now gained some form of community with them, because for the 3 days where he was getting bullied, I saw Reddit like about to kill themselves. They were like, this monkey single-handedly makes me so sad that I'm going to fly to Japan to break him out myself so that he can live with me forever. And if I can't do that, then I will Shinzo Abe myself.
I did love all of like the Tony Stark memes of the Jarvis make Punch happy forever.
monkey in a zoo. He deserves justice for this.
Yeah, he's a political prisoner no matter what. Matt, I'm interested. What's made you mad recently?
So the interesting thing is my number one topic is like a branch off of what Andrew was just talking about, where it's like the monoculture he was discussing. For me, it's more of, I get so annoyed that everyone has to have an opinion immediately about everything in the gaming space. The second anything comes out, everyone has to immediately form their side and immediately defend it tooth and nail, and then if they're wrong, continue to defend it because now they've put their stake down. Like no one can just let something happen and like let it develop. They have to immediately jump in, and it drives me crazy. It's why I don't engage with most of the gaming subreddits nowadays, because news comes out and we have to immediately, is this good or bad? Because once we decide, that's it. We're locked in.
I think a lot of it has to do with the algorithmic nature of online discourse, that
Most of them probably aren't even people.
but it's that the think of like in terms of like the content creator space, that so-called like trend setters or discourse moderators, in the sense that yes, there is an incentive, and it's usually a material incentive, to be the first one with an opinion. So whether you're right or wrong doesn't matter. What matters is that you have an inflammatory statement as fast as possible. To be the first one out there will see you materially rewarded, with support, engagement,
Yeah,
money,
but there are people who are doing this
followers, brand deals.
for karma on Reddit, and
Yeah,
last
Reddit
time I
karma.
checked, Reddit karma does not gain you anything.
Yeah,
Reddit karma.
no, and no. So of course, it's
Am I
it's
gonna
all
trade
it's all
my 30,000
downstream.
karma account to a bot farm so that they can use it to infiltrate other subreddits?
So of course it's all downstream from that, right? But so the point is like that the people who were all kind of viewing do this, they have that material incentive to do it. We are then, yes, choosing to kind of self-sort ourselves into this camp or that camp. And my only reasoning behind to understand that, because yes, like what does the random Reddit account user get from immediately saying that Marathon is garbage and hasn't even played it yet, and not willing to give things space to form real opinions for yourself? They see their streamer say it's good or bad, and therefore their mind is made up. What do they get out of it? What material incentive do they have? And it's
upvotes make
largely nothing.
Upvotes make the happy chemicals in my brain go off, which then make me feel good. And then downvotes make the angry chemical in my brain go off and make me feel defensive.
But what also makes me feel good, because it makes me feel righteous. But so that's part of it. That's part of it, right? But
the thing that I'm in particular talking about, like, that has just annoyed me for the past 2 weeks, is we'll bring up the topic of the day being Pokemon Day, and the discussion around Fire Red and Leaf Green releasing on Switch, and how up until this point everyone's like, oh my god, I fucking hate that they put all of their classic games on Switch Online and make me pay a subscription to access them. It's stupid. And they're like, okay, here's 2 of our classic games that you can buy, $20. Like, oh my god, it's so fucking stupid that you're making me pay $20 for these games that I could emulate for free. Why would you ever do that? It's just one of those things, like, they gave you what you wanted to purchase them, so here's your purchase. And I know you probably want it cheaper, but they probably did the math and went, we'll sell enough at $20 because Pokemon is the #1 fucking selling property in the world for us. We'll make enough money selling it at $20, more than if we had sold it at $5. Because if we sell it at $5, we have to sell 4 times the amount, and we're not going to have that type of engagement.
Yeah, I mean, Pokemon fans, in my mind, in general, don't deserve rights or attention. Like, wasting mental space on trying to keep track of their hypocrisies doesn't feel worth it to me. I don't know the answer to that one, because I guess come down on the camp that, yeah, it's good that they are making old games accessible and are even, that, yeah, they're selling them. That's always what's going to happen. And most people who, defend emulation are, it's like, I'm doing this because
preservationist,
which is bullshit on most accounts. What you're doing is not really preserving things by emulating. You hear people say this, like,
thing that makes me mad.
They're like
self-righteousness of
I pirate things because you won't let me access your library through legal channels. Yeah, you can't call it anything besides then hypocrisy for that. For, I'm going to be real, probably some made up person who to then be like, okay, no, I'm moving the goalposts, and I now don't like it that basically you should give me this old property for free instead. That's just somebody who just wants to be angry to be angry.
Are they releasing them physically?
I haven't looked into that yet.
As like physical Switch cartridges? I haven't seen any. Just eShop.
They released a super cool Game Boy hit clip. I don't know if you saw that.
What?
Yeah.
Hit clips are back?
Yeah, dude. The cartridges have the original Pokemon songs on them, and you slip it in there, and then bam, hit clip.
Are those like the things that like they used to give you like in
30 seconds of a song
in like a McDonald's, like a Happy Meal or something you used to get?
No, they were legitimate things you bought.
Yeah.
McDonald's might have done one version as a toy, but like they were things you could just.
I don't know.
They were things that were sold.
I absolutely had a hit clip with NSYNC.
I feel like they did those at some point. I have this weird memory of them being.
Yo,
but yeah,
I
saw this product. It's a little juke
coming out of that Happy Meal.
It's a little jukebox that in the shape of an original Game Boy.
Okay. Who was asking?
I mean, we have to remember Nintendo is a toy company, and so are Pokemon.
Yeah, fair. That's a fair point.
The Pokemon company makes money selling toys to children, and then more accurately, toys to Mike.
It's not real. I mean, although as my nephew is proving out that no, it still has the appeal to children, despite.
Yes, but those are children now of people who grew up playing Pokemon. So now it's a pipeline.
It's a generational thing, because like there was a good stretch of time where the core audience of this game marketed and designed for children were actually childless 30-somethings. Elder millennials.
Oh god. I mean, they're fucking cute, man. I don't know what to like. I still think Pokemon are cute as shit.
Be careful there.
All right, not in like a horny way. Calm down. Calm down.
What are your favorite Pokemon? Lopunny.
Not that type of cute, Matt. Jesus Christ.
That's another thing that makes me mad. Everything needs to be sexual at all times.
Oh, that's a hot one. Are you in the camp of there needs to be less sex scenes in movies?
No, that's the fun
Are you one
part.
of those?
I'm not anti-movie sex scene. What I'm anti is gooners gooning about everything.
Hell yeah. I agree with you. And here's the thing. They don't have to be the hottest people in the world or the hottest characters in a video game to still fuck. You can get that. You can get a sex scene without having the sexiest people on screen. That's a thing that can happen, and we should all be accepting of it.
I don't need someone to zoom in on a trailer to find one bare foot in a video game and then just be like, oh my god, adding this to my archives.
Archived.
Adding this to my gaming wiki feed.
I'm like relatively pro gooner in some way. Like, so long as that the
I think
gooning
they need
is
to
like
have
kind
a little
of
bit of shame.
I mean, of course, everybody should have a little bit of shame of something, but like, I mean, again, I was raised Protestant after all. You know, of course, I've got the internalized shame about sex and bodily functions. Of course, come on, let's be real. But no, I'm like, I like it when games have hot characters, and I also don't care when they don't.
Right.
That's the thing. It's like
That's the part. That's the part is the not caring when they don't.
because there are so many people who make their entire like persona. Yeah, being like, why is this character not hot and attractive to me? I can't fucking stand it.
This female character has body hair. That is unacceptable. That's the shit. That's
people,
crazy.
Is she not wearing lipstick?
The people who photoshopped cleavage onto the, not even photoshopped, that they AI'd huge tit cleavage onto Kana from the Scars of Kazmora thing should be executed by the state.
I mean, I had a
Or at
statement
the
earlier.
very least, chemically castrated.
I had a statement earlier to Andrew about my disdain for how AI has just allowed the least creative people like free access to be able to do whatever they want. Mine was in reference to the current administration continuing to love to use AI because they cannot physically use Photoshop or anything else to push their messages.
Come on, what you need to do, be like the rest of us who don't know how to use Photoshop, is you undercut an Indian guy on Fiverr. Those guys got to eat too.
No,
and
what you do is you go to the Photoshop request subreddit, and then you put out for the lowest bidder.
Everything's negotiable.
Those are always good. Okay, I've got one. It's a complete shift.
It's fine. This is a free-flowing moment.
Yeah. So I've got one that I wasn't able to fully get my thoughts down in as coherent a way as I would have liked for as a kind of I think an important point that I would like to make, and to try to not come across as like too judgmental or whatever. But it's my distaste for cozy games and the cozy genre of all fiction types. To me, it is this at best it is a willingness to kind of bury one's head in the sand to escape from the stresses of our kind of modern culture that has obviously shifted into outright fascism, to at worst being like an active kind of apologist for that kind of sanitized utopia that is really emblematic of fascist art. I don't really think most fascists are good at doing art. Just like look at all the AI shit that the AI pictures of Trump wrapped in an American flag.
Or skating on the gold medal hockey game.
Yeah, it's this drive for this kind of purity that borderlines on that kind of racial caste purity that is pretty gross. But it's, to me, like people who say like, you play games to escape, I don't think is usually accurate. I don't find gaming in general, outside of say cozy games, to actually offer true escapism.
Well, what's more escapism from the stresses of daily life than stressing about your virtual crops?
But this compulsion to want a cozy experience means something that is, you know, free of friction, something that is this desire to ignore what is unsettling about where your life is at right now. Whereas I think all other forms of games and media and culture in general is all about challenging you in some way. That's not escapism, right? You are contending with something. It can be something like, you know, mechanical friction, right? The problem solving skills of doing like a platforming challenge. That's not like, there's nothing kind of culturally political
yeah, culturally charged,
emotional about that, but you are still, you know, contending with something as a person. You are still meeting something and kind of butting up against it and creating something out of it. Whereas this drive towards cozy is about removing that sense of struggle, this desire to exist in a state that is an ideologically charged idealism. It is about believing that the world can be perfect in a way if you believe it strongly enough. If you just because you want it to be, it can.
Digital heroin.
It truly is like, you know,
Chasing the dragon.
It truly is an opiate of a sense that I find to be kind of culturally damaging.
Tom Nook is fash. You heard it here.
It makes you a less interesting person, and I think it weakens your brain. I think it makes you more willing to accept all the bad things that are happening to you. When you engage with things that are going to challenge you, you are more willing to challenge other things in any other capacity of your life. It's not that, like, you know, playing games are guaranteed to like radicalize you. I think that some things have that potential, but
that's how you become a school shooter, right?
Yeah, no, but I mean, games that offer friction are going to boost this kind of immune system you have in you to approach the world more critically and to be willing to engage with challenge.
Well, yeah, it sets you up in a way to not back down the second you feel a slight resistance. It's one of the reasons that I think that all children should have some experience in some sort of sport, even if they hate it initially, because it's the same type of thing that teaches you to, like, teaches you that, like, you could try and fail and shit's gonna happen. Like, you're not gonna succeed just because you put the most effort in. And, like, that's okay. That happens sometimes. I see that a lot in the engineering world, where we spoke of stereotypes, but a lot of engineers were nerds who should have been shoved in lockers, who sometimes have never experienced, like, putting themselves into something fully and failing. And then they get to a professional sense and they have to make a prototype and they put all of their effort into it and they love it and it's their passion. It has to succeed. It's going to be the next big thing. And the prototype fails and the company says, nope, we're going to not pursue this anymore because we don't want to spend any more money. And you just watch the devastation on them as they realize that something that they just put all of their time and effort and themselves into wasn't what they thought it would be and didn't end the way they thought it would.
I mean, like, you're speaking to resiliency and that's a important human attribute.
I might die to Melania 80 times, but I'm still running in on that 81st.
Dude, absolutely. That taught me a lot. Like, that did teach me something about myself. I don't think there's shame in that. Like, you can go watch the clip of me freaking out as I beat her. That's legitimate, like, elation and proud moment for myself. And it's about learning that you can continue to push and push and push and, like, just work for that one time when you finally avoid that goddamn impenetrable attack that I hate. The one that she does 3 times. I hate that shit. I finally got that down. Yeah, thank you. Waterfowl. I couldn't remember the name. That move is dirty. I finally beat her. Resiliency taught. I've joked about it before with my love of horror, but I do think, like, you should consume media to feel things and to learn things about yourself and how you view other circumstances, like putting
No, I
yourself
prefer
in
to-
characters' perspectives. That's important, and those
I
cozy games
prefer to
don't.
consume media in 10 to 15-second clips that breeze by me in a pace that they never have any impact or.
It's rotting your brain.
And I don't know. Maybe I'm talking from pure ignorance in the sense that maybe except for Animal Crossing, because that is just that some of these games may.
I will say that your rant probably did just piss off any Stardew Valley girls that don't watch our don't watch or listen to us.
For all I know, that they do get a sense of friction from it. That they get there is a challenge element to them, that they're maybe it's a cozy game, but it's like, leans into strong management things, and that they are learning how to deal with.
It better be a mid-manager.
So
how to
better send emails.
How to be a better PMC, but no, but like it can still exist with problem solving things can still exist in those, but I don't know. There's something about that is so purely aesthetic about the drive for cozy that just rubs me the wrong way and makes me feel like this is somebody who will let the world pass them by and will let bad things continue to happen. It erodes our capacity for resistance, I think, is my larger takeaway. And maybe that's, again, it's a larger thing about an aesthetic movement less than maybe the genre. It's because it's not even really a genre. Like, people use the term cozy games a lot, but there are plenty of types of games that would probably fall under it. And perhaps it's unfair.
My cozy games are horrifyingly difficult Souls-likes. That's where I'm in my comfort zone.
So I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like that. You need to. It was one of Andrew's New Year's resolutions was embrace friction.
Yeah.
Embrace more friction in your life. It'll make you a better, stronger, more resilient person.
So I have a minor tangent regarding.
That's not. Hold on. That is my resolution. I agree with the sentiment, but we don't mean that or say that in a grind set style of.
No.
Grind set, baby. What I was going to say is, in a minor tangent, one of my coworkers was telling me, so he's been playing eugenics, and he has explained to me before that his wife is a Stardew Valley girl. That's like the only game that she plays, and she's played it for like 700 hours. And he was saying that he left eugenics up on his computer and went away to go grab some snacks or something like that. And she went in, was looking at it, and she was talking to him. She was like, "Honey, you know your cat has cancer, right?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm intentionally
fucked up little beast doing here."
Yeah. He's like, "Oh yeah, like I'm intentionally trapping them in a room full of shit so that they can mutate and get cancer." And he was like, and she looked at me with like the disdain and disgust of someone who just discovered that their like significant other is a monster, and was like, "You will be sleeping on the couch tonight and thinking about what you're doing to these animals." And he was telling me, he was like, "I've seen what she does in The Sims, where she has like people in her life recreated and locked in rooms with no doors that they can be permanently tortured."
Yeah, they do redlining in The Sims.
All right.
Or do you have another one?
I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
My last one's going to be mad about all these executives that don't play games and fake it. That's
very funny to me. All of a sudden, Asha Sharma has impossible to get. What do they call the trophy version on Xbox?
They just call them
Gamer
achievements.
score or
They just call them
something.
achievements.
Yeah. She has achievements that are almost impossible to get, and like a crazy gamer score, which was definitely them just like, nope, gotta boost this credibility with the gamers real quick because they love that about Phil Spencer.
What I don't understand about that one is that there's so much stuff that was just like, it's so slapdash of an effort to put that together that I don't understand how someone would think that would withstand the slightest bit of scrutiny, which there's just such an imbalance there. Because if she just creates it and like has dabbled in some games here or there, you understand it. It's like, yeah, she knows that she's starting in this role and wants to try to start to learn things about it. That's, admirable, I guess. But I don't understand the one about like her 100%ing ball pit in less than a week. having 43 hours in less than a week, it's just like things are not kind of physically viable
You don't
in some
need
of
to
these
lie
things.
to me. Like, I know being whatever her role was previously, marketing executive.
She was the president of Core AI.
Yeah. Well, I know that job is a job. I also know it's not a job that requires your entire life. You're probably not working the exact 40 hours,
No.
Surprise, most
C-suite-
office jobs don't.
C-suite people, don't do that, but they're busy in other ways, right?
Yes.
They are.
It's like, I can't imagine they're
giving
sitting down and be like,
they're
let me
giving
play
talks.
ball
Yeah.
Their hours are spent giving talks about all the innovations they're doing.
Yeah.
Not actually innovating.
Figurehead shit.
Yeah, it's
They're not
almost
going home and
media.
be like, all right, time to grind ball pit real quick. Need to get this ball pit grind.
But it was clear that her responses were to tweets were either written by a hired social
Or
media
AI.
intern, or the longer ones were probably not generated by AI, but that were definitely run through a script. Definitely had been checked by LLMs. But again, it's like, I don't understand why try to prove a certain point of, oh yes, I've got all these rare achievements in these things, but it's clearly indicated, you can see clear as day that this was not started, or that the account was opened in January. I don't understand how they wouldn't see the discrepancies there. So like, why try to push a false narrative rather than just
They're
be
not
like, yeah,
going for the critical thinkers. They're going for the people who see it and go, oh, cool, she's like me.
I guess, but again, you would earn and get more credit for being upfront and honest and just saying, listen, I wasn't much of a gamer. I'm getting into it. Help me explore the space. Help me learn. Instead of acting like, you have any experience at all.
GoldenEye and whatever the third game
saying
were
your
my
favorite three
games.
games. Yeah, the three favorite games.
But then there was the bullshit reason that she gave that was clear. That was the response that was clearly, they're like, please give this to, send this through whichever of our AI product. What's
Copilot.
the name of? Is Copilot technically an LLM? I don't really know.
Yeah, Copilot's essentially OpenAI.
Okay, so they're like, let's run this through that. Like, the excuse that they gave is like, oh, we opened it recently, but I had my whole family playing on the same gamer tag. That's why the hours don't make sense, because it was all of us dabbling here and there, yet making the concerted effort to 100% ball pit in 43 hours in less than a week, while still being a C-suite executive. These
And then
that's an excuse that an AI thinks makes sense. No rational human being does.
No, and just on top of the fact that her account tweeted, I'm tweeting my own responses, is like, come on. If you have to say it,
I mean,
I think we all know.
One response that was a little bit more savvy was when somebody asking, or it's like that, you're an AI, just responding when she just did the beep boop beep boop beep boop. That was the reply. That one is the more clever one. I still think it was a social media intern. Just like what I think is happening is that they just hired people to create an account in her name and play some things. But they do it in such a haphazard and slapdash way. It makes no sense. So why do it at all? I don't get it.
I mean, my favorite part of this whole saga has been the first major interview being with Windows Central.
Well, here's the thing. The one bit of reasoning that I could get behind it, I don't like using the word psyop, but I do think that there's potential bit of, they're like, let's do all these nonsensical things so that's what people are talking about. It's like, yes, you're not going to please anybody. So let's muddy the waters by making something that's clearly, that you can clearly poke holes. I believe the Trump campaign
called this the weave.
Yeah, it's like that you can clearly poke holes in this, and so that's just going to bring all the crazies in, us included at this point, to go
checkmate.
Yeah, to go insane about. So now that they're not looking at what we're actually doing, they're not asking actually important questions.
No, they're just asking about what was this nonsense answer that you just droned on for 5 minutes about with not ever saying a word. It's honestly impressive how you can answer a question without saying anything for
But dude,
an extended
so
period
go
of
off
time.
on that Windows Central interview, because I gotta say, the Kind of Funny crew
They were fucking roasting it.
got the most cred from me that I've ever had. Like my esteem for them shot up like 10
Dude,
points.
Blessing was roasting.
He was going off on Jez Corden, and it was so funny.
And like,
And I just saw clips, and it was good.
I listened to that episode, and he was hosting that episode with the well-renowned Snowbike Mike, who is their like resident Xbox like mega fan. And he left Snowbike Mike sitting there like jaw on floor, like, I don't know how to respond to this because you are just shredding my life. But holy shit, when you're gonna do your first major interview and you take the puff piece master himself, Jez Corden, the man who will not ask you a single difficult question and will not follow up any responses with more questions.
That was the best. Like, Blessing was asked like, "Oh yeah, what was Jez's follow up to that question?" There
I
was
don't think
none.
he had one.
There was not. He moved on. He moved on to another.
Yeah.
He moved on to another topic. Of course.
Is that Jake Tapper we're talking about?
Oh my
He was
God,
he was
all the
losing
same.
his mind at the high quality journalism and the integrity of Jez Corden and Windows Central, which has spent the past week just nonstop puff pieces and hit jobs on Sarah Bond. Which the funny part to me is,
Yeah, I mean they're not wrong.
Well, some
the hit pieces on
let's
Sarah
give-
Bond are
let's
funny
give
because
the
it's
cre-
also Phil Spencer.
But let's
Like,
give the
they
credit.
should be hitting him.
Let's give the credit the right way. It was Tom Warren in The Verge who started the hit pieces on Sarah Bond, but also again another Microsoft mouthpiece.
But yeah, Blessing's whole rant about like if your first interview is with a publication who has Windows in their first in their name,
All
Like,
credibility is gone. It's gone out the window. Out the Windows Central.
You don't think those are competing interests? I don't know. It sounds fine.
Like they very
Hey.
easily could have done something with gamesindustry.biz or Bloomberg, even though Jason Schreier seems to be, preoccupied right now with Sony everything.
I don't know. They could have gone to who's the one that got caught for doing an AI for Metacritic, and what was that game? Something games.
Oh, that was like a UK site that's been eviscerated, and
Yeah, just go there. Just have AI do the interview. Why waste our time? What are we even
Have
talking about?
AI interview another AI.
Yeah, just put her in the AI and have the AI interview.
because then they just start creating their own language that is solely made up of slurs. We've seen how that plays out.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Microsoft was the one who had two AIs communicate years ago. And then we're like, oh shit, they invented a language, pull the plug. We don't know what they're saying anymore. I had a coworker who I didn't fact check him because I know it almost entirely can't possibly sound true, who was explaining to me that the most recent version of ChatGPT was written by the previous version of ChatGPT, and is like, oh cool, it's self-replicating, that's fantastic. And was saying something about how they were supposed to quarantine something in the facility, and ChatGPT didn't like it, so it was shutting the oxygen flow off in the building. I was like, that sounds like a movie, particularly the first Resident Evil movie with the Red Queen. It's like, are you sure you weren't watching? I'm sorry, Tom, I can't do that. Yeah,
2001.
2001
Space Odyssey. No, they were just listening to the most recent Dario Amati press conference where he was describing how cool AI is. We should definitely put those things in charge of nuclear weapons. It's a good idea.
I've seen this movie before.
It's a good idea.
It involved a robot man from the future in a cool leather jacket.
Unfortunately, we're going to give AI the power of the nuclear weapons before time travels exists. Probably fucked.
You don't know that. What if
That might be what creates time travel.
What if the time traveler was actually Stephen Hawking when he went to his own time traveler party, and he went there to tell him that he needed to die before the Epstein shit came to fruition?
I forget. People were saying that happening or whatever is proof that time travel doesn't exist. That if it
but
was,
if a time
if it
traveler
was
doesn't want to get caught, why would they go to a time traveler party? Come on, people.
like that him being involved with the Epstein shit is proof that he was correct and that time travel is not real, or else he would have gone back and warned himself.
I mean, he could have warned himself probably in the moment. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wheels off the plane, and it's just like, oh no.
Yeah, perhaps one doesn't need hindsight for that one.
Yeah, I don't know that. Yeah, I don't think so.
You know what makes me mad? Hindsight being 2020. Why can't all vision be 2020?
Like, you're just not a real round eye.
I'm definitely not. I think you can distinctly go look at our high school yearbook and see what superlative I won to see that.
I don't remember that.
I'm allowed to say it on the podcast. My superlative was most likely to be mistaken as Asian.
No way. Wait, that was a thing?
They did that?
Yeah.
Jeez. Wow.
Holy shit.
Wow.
I do not remember that.
Me neither. Fuck.
Might have been slightly different
Jeez.
wording, but that's essentially what the breakdown was.
Oh my god.
Because my eyes were always squinty for various reasons. Like, I can't see good, and I was mostly always stoned.
Jeez. I mean, we graduated in like 2011. That's not that far back. Christ.
Yeah.
That was first Obama term. Jeez. So much for a post-racial society, I guess.
Yeah. No. Fooled you.
So I don't really have anything else that off the top of my head.
I was gonna say we've run plenty long for an episode.
What makes me mad, because I'm trying to be more introspective about this. I don't like that. It's just the reality of the state of things, and our task of being critical is that we often end up into a negative space. We end up into a place where we are expressing our anger and our distaste for the way things are going and how people are treated. So for this episode to start from that point was like hard for me, because I'm like, I don't want to be repeating myself, because a lot of the things that we've been talking about recently have been things I don't like. Like, I don't want to talk about, like, yes, it's fresh in my mind because I just played Returnal for the upcoming episode. Like, I don't like, and I get mad at roguelikes. I don't like that. But like, we talked about that in our genre episode, right? But I don't like those type of things. There are things like that make me mad. But
what makes Ben so mad is repeating himself.
I want to try to shift more positive when I can, and not get as focused into the negative stuff. But it's hard. It's so hard with how things.
Like you said earlier, positivity doesn't get us clicks. We need to be negative. We need to be hot take artists. We need to start dabbling further.
Well, here's I guess something that I can be mad about that's not really gaming related, but is at least related to the channel, is I hate how fickle the YouTube algorithm is. You know, YouTube had been our most, successful platform for a while, but it's not been good. Analytics have not been great the past couple weeks, with no like actionable data behind it, because it started gradually, and I know this will make Matt angry, but it started just gradually with the algorithm just starting to pick it up, and just being consistent has helped it grow. But like, TikTok has been doing quite well recently for us, and for our scale of things, quite a bit of engagement, views, likes, comments, well above the norm. And the same content is just, bottoming out on YouTube for no reason. But it's just, again, it's entirely fickle. Like, it'll be like, maybe we had one, like, it'll be like this past content from that last week's episode that went out the previous week. Like, I had maybe like 2 shorts for Microsoft, 2 for Bluepoint, and some other ones. But like, one of the Microsoft ones does well, and the other one craters. So it's just like, they're topically similar. The quality of the content is the same. Like, I've been trying to experiment with what does better, if it's to have something else on screen, whether it's an article or footage of a trailer or game footage or something like that. And it's just so fickle, and it's just inconsistent, and not like, it would be one thing if there was something I could learn from it, but like, I'm not finding anything. I'm not finding anything. What I will do is I'll just like turn a video private temporarily for like a couple hours, change the title, and put it back out on public, and it usually boosts it by a little bit. That's like
not
the best.
torturing enough enough impoverished people on our channel. That's the problem.
Yeah, we're not Mr.
Yeah.
Beast. We're not Mr.
I was about
Beasting
to
it
say,
hard enough.
we need to change our entire mentality and just start doing challenges with people.
Yeah. So that's been a bit of a frustration for me. But again, it's all relative and it's not important, and that's not really why we do this. Sure, we'd love it to grow and we'd love for more people to listen. And folks, the best way you could do that is, share the episode with a friend, share the show with a friend. Check
with your Stardew Valley girlfriend.
Yeah, get her immeasurably pissed off at my take from earlier. Tell her I think that she's a closet fascist. But yeah, come yell at me in the comments for that.
That'll go well. That'll go real well. Perfect. Yes, engage the rage. That's what we're doing.
Matt, as our intrepid leader for this episode, though, anything you want to close with?
No, I think we've covered it all. I mean, you want to end with something positive. I'm positive that you will have another rage-filled episode in another month when we have to talk about Returnal.
I'll say at the very least, it's going to be a conflicted episode for me. So folks, go check it out. I'm trying to be active on Backlogged. Think of it as Letterboxd, but for games. I'd like to see you guys get on there too, but like I'd been importing all my old notes and data and stuff from games, at least as far back as I had cataloged, and I'm catching up with all the ones that I forgot to do last year. I'm almost caught up, but I have been also making sure to keep up with what I'm playing now. And so my Returnal one ended up being like one of the longest reviews I've written in for that site. It's not like a full review, but like my review on Backlogged for that one was like the longest that I've written in a long time, and a lot of it is me just bitching, but like also understanding that there is some good thing. There's some really good stuff there.
Breaking down the psychology of what all the house segments mean.
Yeah. And one of the things that I've said, and it's a little spoiler for that episode, is that I think like the story,
it's a teaser.
I think the story is really cool. I think what it's trying to say is very interesting. There's some cool twists or whatever. I think a lot of the moment to moment writing though, is not up to the task that it is setting for itself. I think a lot of it is just like, I'm going to say something that I think sounds really cool and mysterious and, highly metaphorical, that is just not it just, can't carry the water that it needs. Yeah, that was it. But, yeah, if you want to see my thoughts on that before I dump them in the episode, go find me on Backlogged. I think my profile is just BennyBox27, as it is on most places.
You got to make your username different on everything so no one can trace you.
Yeah, I'm BennyBox27. There, you can go check out my shit, man.
Should have been BennyBox.
Oh God, I'm gonna join. I'll be on.
I recently just wrote a really bad review of The Outer Worlds 2. All right, Matt, thank you.
Yeah.
What's next?
That's going to be it.
What's next? Is
we have our
next?
episode about what we're talking about, or
Yeah,
what we're
just
playing.
update.
Then whatever the next
right,
episode is.
right.
Then news episode, and then Returnal.
Yep.
Unless this is one of those stupid months where we have to have 2 free weeks.
It is. We do have 2 free weeks, but yeah, I'll figure something else out for that. Yeah, it fucks me up as like this is like we're considering this our a month the month start video where we're technically, as of recording, still in February. It fucks me up a little bit thinking about
It's
it.
not
Like
a leap year, so
something I'm thinking like, is Returnal coming up next? Right? Is that is that next week? We're at the end of the month, right? We're starting a new month. Is that where we're at? But no, this is the start of a new month. So that's
I
right.
did have a minor panic attack.
you still got time. You already played
I'm
part
good.
of it.
Andrew,
so.
you should.
I'm good.
I want you to play. I really do want you to play Resident Evil. I want to get your thoughts.
I'm planning to.
It's not supposed to be. It's like
No, it's
most
like 12
Resident
to
Evil
16
games.
hours.
Like,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
perfect.
I will not be. I will not be
Perfect.
playing it though.
The best games are at least 200.
Yeah, no, I'm picking it up, no doubt. I just want to beat Astral Chain first. That's what I'm.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause if you put
focused
that
on.
down,
I'm
you're not gonna
close.
pick it back up.
Exactly. It doesn't work.
It's not a combat system you can pick up and drop.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of picking up the Paranormosite game, the Mermaid's Curse or whatever. It's like a
Paranorman?
It's like a visual novel. It was they announced it at the Nintendo thing. It's like a sequel to a game that came out a while ago, but it's horror tangent. It's a horror game technically, but it's more. This one is a little bit more mystery than horror. It's like Japanese folklore and myths about mermaids and stuff.
Cool.
Mermaid,
Cool.
the body found.
It's another foundational memory for our friend group from high school, along with the inspiration for this episode. All right, folks. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey.